Hey folks, thanks for tuning in with us today. Today we have a very exciting guest on the show with us. We have Tom Weber with Freedom Personal Development. Freedom Personal Development is a memory training school, and Tom is a memory training expert. He teaches people how to memorize key client information and people's names. He can memorize up to 30 names in one room. So Tom, thank you very much for being on the show today.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Chris.
Tom, what are a couple of success tips that you would give to the under 25 group in America?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that that group has a lot of things going on right now, and one thing that they are all is very digitally connected. All this social media, all these different things, and what I really think is important for everybody to really get a good sense of is that there's a couple principles that are really timeless but still apply today. And I think if the under 25 group really got onto, they would really be ahead of the curve. So it's from a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. It was written by Dale Carnegie, and written back in the 1920s, published in the 30s. And even though it was written that long ago, and the name has almost become cliche because it's been so popular for so long, but there's still two things in there that really matter to everybody. Number one is that everyone's favorite subject is themselves. And what happens for most people, what you see is they say, oh, okay, I get that now. And then they hear somebody say, oh, we went to vacation in Hawaii. And they go, oh, I went to Hawaii once, and I went to Maui, and I went here, and I went there, and I went there, and I went surfing. And they just took it as an opportunity to launch their own story, when in fact, they could have had a really golden opportunity to connect with that person. Get to know them by asking them more questions. Oh, then what did you do? Then what did you do? And if they happen to ask you if they've ever been there, then you can tell your story. But you just get to know them a little bit better by letting them talk about themselves. And then number two, what Carnegie said, is that everyone's favorite subject is not only themselves, but the number one thing they want you to remember about them is their name. Most people shake somebody's hand, handshake breaks, and the name vanishes into thin air. And so what happens here is that they've lost this chance to get to know somebody by getting to know the number one thing they want you to remember about them. Instead, they forgot the name. They're like, hey, it was good meeting you, Chief. See you later, dude. Mm-hmm. And they have no clue what to call this person. So get their name in the very beginning. Repeat it 2 or 3 times. Slow yourself down, though. That's the most important thing. Slow down and listen. Get their name. Give them a good handshake. And really connect with them on a very deep level. And I'll give one more bonus tip. And there was a book written a long time ago by a man named Napoleon Hill called Think and Grow Rich. That book in itself, if I can recommend anything to everybody who's listening and watching, is to pick that book up because it will change people's lives. And from what I hear from all the speakers that because I get to travel all over the world now, doing programs, teaching different people, what I keep hearing from them is that you have become the new modern day Napoleon Hill. So it's pretty fun to get to sit here with somebody like that who's going to take that torch and keep moving on with it.
Oh, well, thank you, Tom. I appreciate that very much. Thank you very much for being on the show today. Folks, thank you for tuning in. We have more exciting guests coming up in the future, but I'd like to thank you for tuning in, and I strongly suggest that you listen to Tom and all the successful people that will be on the show in the future. Thank you very much.